So welcome back, guys. Today I just want to go ahead and talk you guys through how to create a CV and creating an ATS verified CV. So ATS is a software that the CVs go through, and HRs use that to take those CVs and kind of analyze the keywords and what you've put in, just kind of mapping both and trying to see what are the resemblance in terms of what's required for your particular role that you're applying for. So it gives them some clarity on if you've just copy pasted certain key skills from somewhere which doesn't resemble your work skills. So it kind of gives an idea as to what is required for that particular role, as well as give them clarity on the skill set that you have and you possess. So let's just take forward some pointers. It's not scripted, I'm just gonna go through with my experience in creating CVs and creating professional CVs for people. I want to understand how I can help you as well in terms of providing you knowledge of how to actually create a good looking CV. So looking at the first point in terms of when you're creating a CV, please use Microsoft Word, because that is a tool that's heavily used in terms of text file, or even if you can't use Microsoft Word, then use Google Docs, because then you'll be able to export those files into multiple different formats and so on, using the docx file or using a PDF format. So saving your PDF version of your CV is really important, and kind of use a PDF, because PDF doesn't change from computer to computer. It kind of formats it and it's there as a text, right? Whereas even in Word, if for example you're changing from versions of Word, different versions of Word have it changes the formatting, and because the formatting changes, then when you go ahead and drop in your CV in a particular in a website, or send it to an HR, if they have an old version of Word or if they have an advanced version of Word, what happens is things tend to get lost, and it's just not friendly. So file format is probably the first thing, and then the second thing is to have keywords that are resembling your job description. So please edit CVs based on the job application you're putting forth. So if you are going for a sales role, make sure your skill set resembles the sales tools that you're going to use, or the sales tasks that you'll be taking place, and what skill set you possess for that particular role. Do not go ahead and just generically take some skill sets that are good, like for example for sales, communication is key, whereas maybe project planning might not be as important. It could be important, but it doesn't have to be, right? So you've got to prioritize. So if you are looking for multiple roles, make sure that you're using keywords that are resembling the roles that you're applying, so that you have that transition in terms of when you're putting it into the ATS software. It checks based on your experience and the keywords. Use simple formatting, clean formatting. At most, please focus on the colors that you're going to use. At most 3 colors in the whole of your CV document. At most 3 colors. Do not use different text colors, but if you are using like highlights and so on in terms of the headings and different colors for the for borders or anything, 3 colors is the maximum. Work on subheadings. I'll go through what subheadings are important for you as well. All right, so going into headings and subheadings, make sure you're focusing on these things, and how you format it is based on you. Make sure it's clean as possible and short and concise as possible. So for your contact information, have your full name, your phone number, your email address, your LinkedIn profile link, your professional website if you have one. Then go ahead and look at a summary and objective, which is basically a 3-liner in terms of just a well-crafted summarizing your career goals, your key qualifications. As an HR, if you're going to open up your CV, the first thing that you're going to see is your heading, and you're just looking at your 3-liner, trying to understand what you're made up of, right? And so once you've done with your summary or objective, go into education, and do this in the chronological order that I'm letting you know. So go into education, put in your education details, and then your work experience next. So your work experience should include your job title, your company and organization name, your location, employment dates, your start and finish of your employment, key responsibilities, achievements and accomplishments. So when you're going into achievements and accomplishments, make sure you're quantifying the work that you've done. So for example, if you're applying for a sales role, if you're applying for a project manager role, focus on the number of tasks that you've completed, the number of targets that you've hit, the revenue that you've hit. Know how have you overcome issues, or how did you achieve 100% conversion rate. All the numbers that are relevant to your business and the use case, go ahead and point that out and make that quantifiable as possible. And then go into skills. Have your relevant skills, your technical skills. Do have in your language proficiency and your knowledge of the softwares that you're competent in. Coming after skills, you should probably have certification and trainings. If this is optional, but if you have done certifications, or if you've done trainings that in your other organizations, put that in. Make sure they're aware of the certifications that you have and the qualifications that you have, as well as any other personal development certificates that you've taken, or you've taken courses in the middle. Just make sure you're adding it, because it shows that you're consistently working on yourself. And then add in projects. Again, this is optional if it's applicable to you. Any projects that you've done, any freelancing work that you've done, or any project that you've taken forth in a particular company, a successful completion. Again, quantify the projects based on what you've done, what you've achieved, and how what are the outcomes of the project. This really demonstrates your skill set. And then go into publications if that's required in your field. And then professional associations and membership. So after publications, when you put in professional association and membership, make sure your professional association and membership are existing ones. Make sure that you're putting your expiry date and your start of your membership status and what status you're in or what level you're in. So for example, if it's a CMI membership, Chartered Management Institute, or you're a chartered manager, what's the level you're at, and so on, right? After that, you'd go into the volunteer work. Any volunteering work that you have, put in that as well. References is completely upon request, or it could be optional. If you want to go ahead and put a one-liner where it says for reference, please contact, or just upon request, so that they know that you're willing to give in a reference. And yeah, so these are probably your highlights. So I'm just going to go and summarize. Contact information, it should have your contact information on the top of the CV, summary and objective, education details, work experience, skills, certifications and training, awards and honors, projects if required, publications, professional associations and membership, and then volunteer work, references. So this would concise your CV into a short and crisp CV. What's a good size for a CV? A CV should probably be somewhere around 2 pages, nothing more. Try keep it as concise as possible. If you do have more than a 2-page CV, ensure that everything that you've written there is concise and to the point, because no one's gonna go reading beyond what they really want to. So they're gonna go in, and sometimes we have roles that you've taken up along the way that maybe are not very relevant to the role that you're applying for. So if you do have too many roles, look into maybe taking out a few roles in between. Just put the relevant experience, because that's what counts, and that's what they want to see. So, and use these tips to kind of go and progress to the next level of the interview. So if you have any other questions, do contact me. I'm ready to help you guys. And if you want me to format the CV as well, I'm ready to help you as well. Do check out my Fiverr if you have any other services that you require. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys. Bye.